he's out front.
He's upstairs.
Okay, well, he only has reclassification Savannah Elizabeth Golden as full-time night shift sergeant, effective April 21st, pay rate on schedule. All right, commission office, Ms. Sylvia.
Okay, I think the majority of this you would have received. The first on there is the transfer of assets and dissolution of the Chilton Medical Center.
All right, anybody got any questions on that? All right,
The Sheriff's Merit Board, tomorrow night, we'll have the last of the nominations, and
we'll screen them.
I will have one nomination for tomorrow night.
okay, all right,
John Will Allen.
okay.
And I think I forgot to mention last time, Commissioner Hall, Commissioner Haley, and myself will question the two applicants. Then we'll submit one to the next meeting as per our rules.
I thought that was for,
That's board assignments or that's any board appointments.
okay.
Now,
Okay, so there
like we
won't
did
be
for
an,
Water Authority and, the others.
so there won't be a
won't be a vote.
closing and a
Well, no,
appointments.
we can suspend a rule if you want to, but the way I understand or interpret it, we're supposed to go to the panel, the three. But if we need to just suspend them, we can do that and vote tomorrow night.
Well, what number is this? What number week?
This will be the third week,
Be the third meeting?
Yeah.
So they stay open for three, you nominate them for three,
3 weeks.
so he can still nominate one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying,
then
he can,
y'all call them together.
yeah.
He can still nominate.
Well, no,
I
what
know.
we're talking,
No, we're not talking about that, we're talking about voting on them tomorrow night.
Oh, no.
One more.
Yeah, the board brings a recommendation
Yeah.
back. I mean, you could vote on every one of them, but the board would just have a single recommendation.
Okay,
In the next meeting.
we'll make sure everybody understood that.
Okay, so no,
No vote tomorrow
no
night.
closing and no,
We'll close the
And close it.
nominations, and then the
Vote the next.
panel, myself, Commissioner Hall, and Commissioner Headley, will interview the 2 or 3 candidates.
okay.
And then we'll
the
bring
next meeting.
recommendations
Okay.
back at our next meeting.
Okay, all right, great. All right, I got it.
Okay.
Something that we need to discuss is the dedication of the new courthouse and, of course, the 250th birthday of the United States, or America. So if we could toss out some numbers out so that we can get that budget in place, so that we can start purchasing, ordering, getting things lined up.
Okay.
what would you suggest? Or do we need to meet before you bring that to the commission?
I would say no less than 7,500.
I had suggested to her the other day.
I said
make
no
it
less than.
10,000.
I'd say 10 grand.
10,000, if we don't use it, and we're gonna have some sponsors. We got people who's already wanting the paper stuff, so,
Yes,
chances are we won't even touch that, all of that.
yes, that is something to consider. I mean, we can set the budget and start our, ordering and planning, that sort of thing. But yes, there are several that we've talked to that may possibly sponsor a lot of this. But still, we need
And
to
this,
get a
this is a
plan.
one time, and some of y'all may be here in 50 years when we open it back up. This is a once in a lifetime achievement for this county, and the 250th birthday of our country coming at the same time. I think we'll make it special to the people, and some nice keepsakes for them to have. That's my thoughts.
And by all means, if you think of anything, call, or the next time we have another meeting, please come. I mean, any ideas would be considered. Would love any new ideas. That'd be great.
For keepsakes.
Either for that or ideas about what to do. We sort of had one meeting and we sort of set in place a few things, but, there's still a lot of planning to take
Okay,
place.
okay, I'll help.
Next, we have 2 inactive accounts, one at Marion and one at Central State Bank. I'd really like to close those accounts. There's nothing to close out of Central State Bank. It was just a holding account for our warrant payments. The one at Marion, we had opened up an account elsewhere, and we're just waiting to get all of the ACHs cleared so that we can move the remaining amount out of it and close them. Mr. Rick Gregg has approached us and asked if we would consider ALS Awareness Month for April. And the proclamation that he had was listed in there, if you have any questions about that. But that was something that he asked for, and I think it would be great if we did that.
And Rick Gregg was he was our shop foreman at the road department who had retired due to ALS. So you see, for y'all that don't know that.
Tomorrow night, there will be a lady from, I always forget the name of the place.
Butterfly Bean.
No,
No.
but Gina Watley has asked that we also sign a proclamation of sexual assault awareness, and April being Sexual Assault Awareness Month. But that will be, the lady is coming tomorrow night to speak briefly, and if you would consider that, please. The city of Clanton, you had a resolution in there where they are appointing Jeffrey Price, who is mayor, to the airport authority, and ask for your approval of that.
Okay.
Name change for a bank account. We have a bank account that reads Road and Bridge Debt Service, and it no longer serves that purpose. The debt service is strictly for, the majority of it is strictly courthouse, but just change it from Road and Bridge Debt Service to Debt Service.
Okay.
Brilliant WebWorks. Two of the things, and of course I had to ask about this because I'm not IT at all. But one of the items is the accessibility audit done for our website. Of course, we're lacking in a lot of things, so brilliantly.net does our website, and they did this several years ago, and they are wanting to do this again, an accessibility compliance audit for those that are disabled and given equal access to our website. The cost is $1,200, and of course it includes several things, but one of the things it included was a 1-year license of the software. The other is Nathan at brilliantly.net had approached us before about the Termageddon, and of course, again, I had to talk to our IT guy about that because I wasn't real sure what that was all about, but it had to do with cookies and that sort of thing, and going on our website and whether they're hidden in there and that sort of thing. It says it provides a package of legal documents as well as cookie consent solution that will block tracking cookies unless the visitor agrees to accept them. I have to read it because not real sure why. That's a $200 setup fee and $119 per year, which is not a lot in the scheme of things. Any questions about that, I would suggest you talk to the IT guy.
Yeah.
Because I am not an
Yeah,
IT
we do need to know that.
Yes.
I happened to be in the office when Brock was there explaining it. Basically, you've got lawyers out of California looking for ways to sue organizations, and all this is a liability hedge.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's cheap insurance for us. It's not insurance, but
Protection.
protection for us.
And the other is our community development, community involvement account that we had set up some time ago, thinking that, people were gonna use, different type apps or whatever to, donate money, and it just has not panned out, so, we'll just, if you will approve it, I will close that account and I think it's like, we put $100 in there to open an account, we'll transfer that money back into animal control.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. Speaking of animal control, Christina?
I just have a request to change our operating hours. Currently, we are only open to the public Wednesday through Saturday from 1 to 5. When we made those hours, though, we only had 2 staff members who was trying to care for the animals and assist the public. Since then, we have pretty much doubled the staff, and we would like to open from Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then Saturdays will be just appointments only. So Saturdays are a hit or miss, whether we get anybody coming in at all. So financially, it doesn't make sense to pay an entire crew of staff to just pretty much sit there all day. And then Saturdays too, most of the like off-site events are on Saturdays. And we've had to request a couple times to close so that way we could attend them. And those do bring a lot of adoptions and community involvement and things like that. And then, of course, we would still want to remain closed on Sundays.
So Christina, on Saturday, so I thought that was pretty busy when people drop off, so they need to call and schedule, say, somebody get this, several animals, like I've seen on social media, dropping them off. So how are you handling that?
So Saturday is really like one Saturday a month, we could be busy on that day. And then the other 3 Saturdays a month, we don't get a single person to come through the door. So it would be, so right now, like we do have a spot on the website, like where people can apply, like have an application for animals. We don't require it, but there is a spot on the website for that, along with surrenders. So we would just, like, we still get those applications and we just kind of work them in and do appointments throughout the week with those. So we would just do the same thing and then just make it for Saturday. And then Saturday, we would just use it for like our medical day. Like right now, our medical day is Tuesday, and we would just change it to Saturday. So any of like the incoming appointments we have, we would just move them to Saturday. And then of course, people could still come in and adopt as long as they have an application, and that way we make sure we have enough people there for it.
Okay, so I want to help you to convey that message, because you know how social media, the first thing they're going to say, they close on Saturdays now. So make it plain so the general public would know it. So just want to make it sure.
So
Such
we-
and such
we would-
time.
We would be closed on Saturdays, except for it's an appointment based,
So we are closed on Saturdays.
other than appointments, correct?
But you'll have staff working the animals on every day of the
Yeah,
week.
staff's
So
there
there'll be
7 days a
somebody
week.
there, so if somebody calls
Yeah.
and says, hey, I've got an animal.
Yeah, and it aligns with, so like the city animal controls for each municipality, they only work Monday through Friday. And right now, when we are gone Mondays and Tuesdays for appointments and everything else, we kind of have to rely on the police officers to make their way through the building and figure out where to put the animal. So it's also helping to align with all the officers in municipalities as well. Because they get, at least I know, Clanton City has had a lot of, like, well, it's Monday and Tuesday and they're not open, and so it kind of helps. They kind of align it with the normal business hours, and I think it kind of throws some people off too.
I think it's what you're trying to say is like when you say on Saturdays, you take appointments, like if there's 8 people call, then you'll maybe line them all up on the 3rd Saturday to come that one Saturday, or you just gonna take a random appointments every Saturday?
So that would just have to be based, so like if we have 4 applications, where people can only come on this day to see an animal or to drop their animal off, then we would just schedule it for that Saturday. Cause like we will still be there, we just won't leave the doors unlocked to come and go, so,
In other words, they can't just drive up and drop one off. They ain't called, made an appointment ahead of time, and they,
Right, and our number's on the door as well that says, like if you need assistance, then they can call, and it's like that for Monday and Tuesdays now as well. But it's just, we're not, Mondays and Tuesdays, we could be in Montgomery, we could be in Birmingham, it would just really depend.
Sounds like you're taking the money you have to operate and making Mondays and Tuesdays more available to the law enforcement who's picking them up and having to make arrangements.
And she's
And
having to go out and
Saturdays,
help.
yeah, and Saturdays are light anyway anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 19-hour increase in,
Yeah.
I mean, into the public.
Yeah.
19 hours.
And you have that notification posted, just in case.
I
'cause
think Commissioner
Yeah.
Hall's point, though, is appropriate in that the public does need to know that you're available on Saturdays because you're going to be there working. It's just that they need to call ahead. So if they call at 8:15 in the morning and y'all are there working the animals, you're able to set up a time for them to come in at noon or whatever, pick a number, with that animal on that Saturday, correct?
As long as we would have people for that Saturday. So
Right.
like we have one person who works the front desk. So like say like there's an offsite adoption event that day, then we wouldn't be able to take appointments.
I
that
got
day.
you.
Right.
But,
Because then all
but
the
if you're
staff
there,
is
you would
offsite.
work
It's
them
kind of-
in for that day.
Kind of
Correct.
randomized.
Yeah, yeah,
Randomized
yeah,
appointment.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why it would be easier to set appointments for Saturdays because we
Yeah.
could be off-site or, it just makes it a little bit more easier on the staff too. Like it's really hard for us to staff the building and get out in the community. So it kind of makes a little bridge there.
yeah, just posting and notification about what you want to do, I think. Just a knowing, communication, and, do what you need to do.
I definitely like the Monday through Friday.
I think it's gonna make a difference.
That's when most people come
Yeah.
anyway. So a lot of people don't realize that we are open on Saturdays, even though like it is online, it is posted out front. But most other shelters as well don't really have weekend hours, that are county shelters. The private ones do, but most other ones do not. And then like we get a lot, well, the animal control doesn't work. Well, they're city police, they work a little differently in the cities than what we do.
So it does kind of align us more with surrounding counties.
Correct,
The
yeah.
ones that have animal
Well, it's
control.
still, so I think, like I know like Bibb County, and then I think they only have like 12 hours available to the public a week. And that would take us, I think, to 35 a week. Right now, we're at 16, so it would increase it by like 19 hours a week. Just kind of like maneuvering our manpower without adding anybody else.
Spread it out.
All right, anybody
Good.
else got questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Park and Rec, Donald Giles.
I'm just asking for a resolution to advertise the field parks and recreation manager position.
Okay. All right, any questions? All right. Road Department, Engineer Heath Sexton.
All right, thank you, Commissioner, for your time. Can start off with 4 new hires, Mr. Jeff Miner, Mr. Adam Hayes, Mr. Austin Smith, and Mr. Christopher Thomas, to the positions, pay rate, and effective date shown on the attachments.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Because this has been asked of me before, and it was asked again recently. Are we offering jobs like, say, a truck driver to somebody who's lower paid? Are they being offered the jobs in-house, or do they have just to see them online and apply like anybody off the street?
Apply like anybody, unless,
Okay.
we work with Terry Hinton, HR, Human Resources, but a lot of times I think he recommends to post the position for people to apply, just to make it fair.
So you can do an internal hire.
There is a
if-
way.
If they meet the criteria as well.
There is a way, and usually we work through Terry, let him make those decisions. But I think most of them, we've always posted the position. And we keep the truck driver position, the equipment operator position, and the road worker position have been continuously open. the last couple of years.
Now, you said you go through Terry Hinton, do what? I misunderstood your answer to Commissioner Hall. When,
Is there a
about the
certain-
internal hire, you said you go back to Terry?
Is there a certain case you're talking about?
No, I'm just asking, because I've had several in the past ask about it, and I just haven't think about it just then.
I think what he's saying is,
So position posted.
you've got somebody in a lower position and you've got a truck driver position or an operator position that comes open. Would they, and I'll give you an example, power company.
Okay.
They post their jobs internally first. And they have, if there's an existing employee wants to bid on that job or apply for that job, they can, and if they don't, then you go outside. That's what I think they're asking.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, recently we did have a road worker that was promoted to the equipment operator position, so we do promote inside.
Well, the policy also calls for, advertising
And those,
to hire, but
and those are for continuously posted positions. However, if it's a position that's not continuously posted, we would post the position and anybody in the road department or internally in the county could apply for it.
Is that posted on the website?
The jobs are all posted on the website, yes.
Okay.
I think what Commissioner Williams is talking about is can we just self-promote without advertising internally? Is that what you're asking?
No, I was just wondering, any extra consideration given to somebody
Oh, I
who's,
got you.
say they were upgraded from a laborer to an operator or a truck driver, and then when the job came available, if they were given any consideration for the job because they were already in our employment as an advancement.
I
Yeah,
feel
like a
that ought to
promotion.
be a call of the
Well, we had
the
a,
why I was
engineer,
asking.
If he, if he feels like they're capable or can do it or whatever, he'd probably, I would say, give them a chance, but if he don't feel like they're qualified to do it, then, you probably wouldn't waste a lot of time trying to put somebody somewhere that they couldn't fill the position, I think that ought to really be left up to him to decide.
Are the jobs posted, literally posted out there at the road department somewhere, Heath?
they
Y'all have
should
a
be on the
bulletin
employees
board?
bulletin board, and they're all supposed to be on the
Okay,
Chilton County website as well.
answered that.
And
Okay.
sometimes there's positions like the foreman position where we have several people that are interested in it for sure. In the road department, we would want to post that and give everybody the opportunity to apply for it. One, show they're interested in it, and then two, have the opportunity to state their case. So we try to be as fair as possible, and I obviously like to promote from within because you have a good relationship with everybody.
All right. Any other questions?
I do, I want to add to that, because I'm sitting here thinking, hiring within, and we do have to advertise externally. So I don't know, we don't have, presently, we don't have any, things in place to promote or to, offer those positions. That's an area of opportunity that we have with growth and reestablishing the road department. Because after their evaluation, you may say, hey, I see how well you're doing, and, we possibly have a position. If one comes available, but you want to be the truck driver 2, you're a truck driver 1. Have you considered being moved up to truck driver 2 at some event? And that gives them opportunity, as I call it, laddering, climbing the ladder up. So that'd be something that we good, Joe, we might want to come out there and Bone or whoever we, out there to discuss, because there's some great opportunities. And that really helps with morale as well. And however, sometimes, unfortunately, even in corporations, we do hire externally often. So there'll be an area opportunity that road department will have.
Thank you. Next up, I want to talk about our batwing mowers that we pull behind the tractors. We keep 3 going each year, and in the past, we tried to bring a new one in each year, and so I have a quote there for the similar mower, and this mower is included in the budget, and so I'll request approval to purchase the mower.
Okay, any questions?
Later on, we usually surplus one of the old ones, the one in worse condition. Next up, we have a boom mower that's been budgeted, and I have a quote from Cowan for a wheeled excavator with attachments. It includes a mulcher, ditching bucket, a digging bucket, and grapple. And so I request approval to purchase it. It's a little over the budgeted amount in our equipment, but we've also not bought several other items that we probably won't buy. I don't know if y'all want to copy some of the items we budgeted or not. We ended up, these were all the pieces of equipment on the proposed list, and we ended up budgeting for items 2 through 7 and number 10. And 2 is the boom mower. 3 was the flatbed equipment trailer mini X that we thought about purchasing, but didn't pull the trigger on that one. And of course, we have purchased a track excavator. We've held off on the track loader after evaluating the condition. The rotary mower is the one we're asking for earlier tonight, and the backhoe we received. And of course, we got the wheeled excavator for a much lower cost, buying it slightly used. So anyway, I'll ask for approval to purchase the wheeled excavator.
What is this bottom figure, 2,008,000? That's not what we spent, that's what we budgeted.
That's the total amount for equipment.
So on the track loader.
Yeah.
We had available on the track loader, we had available 310.
Correct.
And we've decided to keep the old one. Did we spend any money on that old one? I mean, significant money.
No.
We didn't do a rebuild, in other words.
We haven't. Now, I did hear there may be some undercarriage issues they may have found this past week, so we'll check into that, but maybe something we can just repair.
Okay.
Keep going on. I think it's a 2004, so it's getting some age on it.
Okay.
So what have we, you got the total what we actually spent so far out of this budget, Heath?
Not in front of me, but basically the backhoe was, I think 166,000. The track excavator was less. I think it was 308. And of course, we haven't purchased the boom mower yet, and we didn't purchase the track loader. And the wheeled excavator, I believe, it was what, 225?
Probably about 300 and everything we had to add to it.
Well, we just put that in repairs. I think 225 is what.
Out of that line.
Mm-hmm.
225 out of that line.
That's what we should have left out of this, after buying that wheeled from Selma.
What you think would be more beneficial, this Volvo wheeled excavator or a paint striping truck?
Well, we do get a lot of calls about needing stripe on our roads. And I've been driving around, and most of our roads do need stripe. Like I said, most counties our size, because of the difficulties with having to procure a truck, train people, hire people, you'd almost have to certainly have agreements in place with other counties and cities to stripe their roads. You probably have to go through legal about liability, what happens if we get an accident outside, what happens if the other counties or cities are disgruntled with the work, so that doesn't meet the reflectivity requirements, or maybe it's not straight enough for them. Most counties just contract the work out. A $500,000 big striping project would get most of our roads. As you can see, we could free up some of this equipment money for a big striping project. Therefore, it's quick, it doesn't tap our people, and no liability, no training, and we get good quality work. It'd be on the contractor to make sure they met the specifications.
So you changing your mind from a year ago on the need for the paint striping truck? 'Cause I know before you and I had talked about it and you were on board with buying a paint striping truck. So we would do the roads when we needed them. And also Elmore and Ottawa County were on board the contract with us.
Well, I've never fully gotten all the facts on what a truck's gonna cost. We had some prices of $250,000 to $350,000 for paint trucks, $900-something thousand for a thermoplastic truck. We talked to several other counties like Covington. We never were able to visit. We were just gonna schedule a visiting. I think had a health concern or something. We weren't able to go down there and find out how often they have breakdowns, and we know it must be often because they were broke down most of the time when we wanted to go down there. And we never found out the availability of paint or how much the paint cost. Now, I never talked to other counties. I think you said you may have talked to other county commissions about possibly coming to some kind of agreement on how many miles we could do a year.
Yeah, Houston County and, I forgot who Houston is corroborating with. The two counties work together down there. Covington totally said that they think their problem because it's not used as much as it should be to keep it up to par. But, I just knew that we talked about this before, and it would be beneficial to the county so we get to paint on the roads when we need it instead of waiting on these contractors 90 and 120 days. But I also know that this excavator will speed up cleaning up roads too.
So we would literally hire, our people would go to another county and paint their roads?
Well, that was the possibility Commissioner Williams had talked about. We discussed, we would need to get a lot of information about possibly doing that.
I think it's
So it
Coffee.
happened,
I
it's
think
happened?
Coffee and Houston are the two counties that work together right now. One of them owns a machine and they stripe the roads for the other county.
The logistics.
What,
That's a liability.
it's probably not gonna know about that, nobody's gonna know the answer. What's the time frame if we ordered a striping truck before it'd be ready?
Well, I got a call into him and he ain't called me back yet.
So there's no time frame.
Not really. I called him last week and asked him for the prices on 3 different trucks and he said, well, I gotta run them down because there's 3 different types of paint now.
I think really with the problems you have with hiring people and keeping somebody that really knows what they're doing, and that paint truck, it's gonna have to be cleaned. I'm talking about every time it's painted and it's
That's why I went
stopped.
to the paint instead of thermal.
Yeah, it's, I don't know if I don't know if we're ready for that. Not that we might not get ready one day, but, and you say, well, we're gonna do so many miles for this county, so many for that county, and that truck breaks down, you can't do it, and then you're obligated to do something you can't do, and,
And the
That's
cost
just-
of
I'm against
operations,
it.
if
Yeah.
we're working outside our county, then we got travel time and/or we're paying overtime. I mean, it's, there's some things we need to talk about before we jump into that. Thinking that we're gonna be able to pay for it by using that in some other county. I didn't think about the liability part of it.
Well, we got-
I think the liability's covered now with that, bill they passed. Counties can, what is it called?
Mutual.
Mutual
aid.
agreement now, mutual aid they can do in other counties. I think that takes care of that liability. That is a question we need to find out. Like I said, I don't have a problem with this wheeled excavator, cause I've been advocating for that thing for years. We got one, it's doing a heck of a job, so,
And we'll delete those 2
Yeah.
boom cutters.
yep, I think we can totally do away with any more boom mowers.
Are those leased or are those owned by us, the boom cutters?
We own them all. The one thing
Would we keep the tractors, or would we just sell the boom mowers, or sell them as a unit?
we would sell it as a unit if we did sell it.
Yeah, they're pretty much
So we
integrated.
might be able to make up the difference. If I remember this is about 30 north of where we were quoted about 6 months ago. And then, so we might can make up the difference just on turning those boom mowers into the market. So. Not not boom mowers, sorry,
Side cutters.
side cutters.
Well, my point, the reason I'm asking about the length, we only got 5 more months, we're gonna be budgeting again.
Yeah, that's what I was,
The time we do our due diligence to find out about the striping, what we can't, the other counties and
Oh, yeah.
Wait there.
fit in there.
Yeah.
So we got this budgeted down, that's where I was going with that, that's why I asked that.
I'll bump Carl up again tomorrow so he can give me some prices. We go look at some and find out about the liability and everything else.
Well, Heath, you gonna work on that too. Y'all gonna work on that together, the liability. You checked the liability, didn't you?
I think you really need to leave these calls up to the engineer. It's his department that's running it, and let him decide if he thinks he can run that thing. I'd hate for us to get something out there and then it go bad and, he said, well, y'all wanted it, I done the best to keep it going, but it just ain't gonna be able to
That'd
do
be
it.
a lot of moving parts for the county to have a full-time striping truck that went around the state striping other counties' roads. So,
I'd love cost of operation. I mean, I remember a church one time, and it wasn't the building of the Family Life Center, it was the operation of the Family Life Center. It drove us off for years and years, so we need to really look at the operation cost of this.
yeah, well, I'll just reiterate what Butch said. Commissioner Billingsley, we've got a little bit of time on this for next budget year anyway, so, to get all the facts laid out and pros and cons of it.
Right.
Just-
Yeah, and it'll take that long to get it too. Okay.
all right. Next, I have received a request for a autistic child area sign. And I've sent out a request to the county attorney to get his legal opinion on it. But I did find in the attachments there is a Alabama code that pertains to deaf and blind child area. And I'm waiting to hear back on him to see if the autistic child would apply with this code. And if so, it looks like the commission would have the option to put these signs up or not, and then for them to pay for it or for the county to pay for it. So I should know something more from Ben.
Yeah, the attorney, that's gonna be an issue, yeah, so the attorney is looking at it.
And it also,
Obviously, this is a county road, and I'm sure there's a bus route,
Yeah.
State code,
so we might
that's the code.
do what we did
That's it
over
right here, he put it in.
Union
Yeah,
Springs.
you got it.
also, in the attachments, I have a sketch that given to me for the proposed Dollar General site on County Road 15 at the intersection of State Road 22. And they said that they were told by the state, and of course, I think we can verify that in the mornings, there's some traffic that does back up at that intersection for
Down
people
15.
going to school. I talked to an engineer about it, and he said the Dollar Generals won't open until 8 o'clock in the morning. So he felt like that backlog would be gone by the time they open.
What was his concern? Is it the 107 feet before the turn-in?
That he wants to know if he can have his access that close to State Road 22.
I would rather see it move back just a little bit, but I mean, we don't have, a lot to do with those requests. It's 107 feet is where the turn-in starts from 22 highway. When you turn on County Road 15, the entrance begins at 107 feet.
This probably got to do with the truck having enough swing, because he's gonna
It
be
does.
docking back at the dumpsters. And if you move that entrance, I see what they're looking at.
They would have to-
Instead of
they would have
moving
to
their
move the whole
building
building
further
back.
They'd have to move, they're not gonna be able to get in there with a truck.
Right.
Yeah, I saw him out there and I was like, ooh,
So, yeah, that's probably their thinking in that,
it needs to
Commissioner
be.
Williams, I'm sure.
But they own the whole
I was gonna
parcel.
say. it
They
looks
do.
like
They
can
could always
figure that
do
out.
something
They got
different.
plenty of property.
Yeah.
Yes.
I talked to Victor. He's the one that sold them the property, and they own the whole parcel.
Hope.
Okay.
So they can move it.
Yeah. I saw him there staking it a little bit, but
Now, on the sketch, you can see the south parcel line down there. And
Correct.
that's about where the traffic backs up to in the morning at peak. But again, that's, should be cleared out by 8 o'clock.
And technically, it's no different than 22 by the Chevron. That little turn, that's, if that works, I know this will work.
That's a good point.
So if there's any concerns there, I told them I would bring it to your attention. I think there's a resolution that the engineer can decide where the turnouts go. So,
Yeah. Here he is.
and, not on the agenda, but, there's a parcel on County Road 453. And, Commissioner Billingsley asked me, just curious what it would take to do a topo on it. And, I know the USGS topos are pretty broad. They look pretty flat. You can't get much information from them, but, LiDAR's, recently come about, and it's much more accurate. It does up to 1 foot contours. Usually you have to have software to open it up, but I did find a free site that give you, I guess you probably pay for it as well. But, I did print this off.
What parcel is that?
You can
Is
click
that-
on
That's
it.
an Ellison property.
That's the 10 acres.
property.
Oh, that's under, is it the same thing you got under you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can click on it, and it'll give you I think those are 1 foot contours. So,
Is that what we're looking for, Butch? Is that what you'd ask about the other day?
Yeah, and it is, but now the one, this is aerial, and the one that Commissioner Bones gonna ask for tonight is gonna be, with a drone, which is gonna be more accurate, and I think they're gonna be on 2 foot centers, where this 1 foot center. And to his defense, I hadn't said anything to him, because I didn't know we'd heard anything back until I got here tonight.
right,
So we got supposed to do the aerial with a drone,
yeah. Oh, that'd be heavy, yeah.
that'll save on you too, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Some other things coming up on that.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a question about this. I'm gonna ask you later on, but we'll go ahead now. This that you gave me and us, are these property lines and these roads pretty adequate where they are?
No, those aren't the property lines. They're a little off. I made it a little bit wider outside the property lines.
Oh, okay.
But,
Well, hey.
It goes down the road, but
yeah, I made it a little
Yeah,
wide.
no, I'm talking about this red.
it goes down the road.
Yeah, I
It
made
goes
them-
down, see, we crossed 145 right there, and we're
Billings,
over on
Billings, all
455. We-
of a sudden, Billings
gained
is
some
fixing
more
to close the
property.
road.
Oh, Lord, dang.
Billings is fixing to
Sorry
close the
about
road off.
How do you go, man?
Have you served?
Butch done moved the fence back.
Doggone right. If
Okay.
you haven't seen that property, I would, after tomorrow, you look at it.
I need to go, I haven't been out
It is. They've done a great job.
Dollar
out there.
General before our property.
Yep.
That y'all have,
New
looks
one coming
really
up.
good.
there. You down 140?
It doesn't look like the same place. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Billings,
I do not have anything at this time.
Commissioner Bone.
Going right off what Mr. Heath has done, I reckon, conduct a topo of the property located at 626 County Road 453, Clanton, otherwise known as the Ellison property. I'll be asking for a resolution for that.
Okay, everybody should have an attachment on that cost.
Yeah, just the topo, right, not the
Yeah,
grading side.
just-
Yeah, just the
topo.
topo, not the
Throwing
grade.
that out.
Yeah.
Grade site plan or
Is that
whatever.
in our attachment?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Commissioner Bone
It's
has
in
it.
here.
in the front.
I got one. I got the early enough to get one, Makisha.
You want this one?
I got one in front. I didn't know.
Yeah, there's two different ones. One is
Yeah.
strictly the topo.
Straight Line Engineering and Consulting, LLC.
Try.
Pay for it.
That part out of the park for me.
Road department.
And we're moving
Industrial
it from the,
Development
road
that you and I
sheriff,
talked about
humane
last
shelter.
week.
Okay.
Humane show. Animal show.
Mr. Childers.
No new items, except I just wanted to thank Christina. She's constantly looking to improve increase efficiencies down there and work with the public in better ways. And I just wanted to thank her for what she's doing down there.
I got something else too. I mean, you move right along.
Okay, excuse me, Commissioner Bone has something else.
I would like to say, give Miss Libby and her guys a big pat on their back for keeping our county clean. I went driving around and seen a bunch of garbage bags where her and her crew has cleaned up tremendously. So, if you're listening, Miss Libby, thank you very much, and give thanks to your crew.
That is something Libby has done well the whole time I've sat in this seat. She works very hard at keeping this county clean and beautiful. And,
What'd you say?
huh?
That everybody's invited?
Oh, yeah, everybody's invited on April the 11th to a special day of cleaning in the county, picking up litter. Thanks to Makisha, we have a team going to compete against the sheriff and all his jail help.
We are gonna be one team.
Oh, we got one team going. I thought we had a competition.
These
I like
are
to
the
be
only two
competitive.
teammates,
Oh,
so
no, I told you I would help.
you said,
So, what time are we going to be assembling?
on the 8th, we're gonna do 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Then
On the
I'll let
11th?
you know the road.
And she's still working with Libby on a road. So bring your boots and your snake breeches. No, I'm kidding. April the 11th. 12th, huh?
About April being the.
Yeah. Yeah.
He forgot.
This is the PALS month for litter, keeping the county, keeping the state clean. That's the whole point of this competition. And it's Makisha's idea to do this, and I thought it was a good one, Makisha. Again. Okay. Commissioner Hall.
Okay, first I want to compliment the sheriff. And the jail, I recently did a tour of the facility, unexpected, on a Saturday during the middle of a bike race or something. So the sheriff wasn't even there to escort me around. So I did want to go and check the jail facility. There was not a complaint given, so I want to go around and look. Very interesting. What was her name that carried me around? I'm sorry. The Warren. Okay, Warren Ann Davis took me on my tour. I had on high heels. And so I guess I expected carpeted floors. So, yeah, I didn't fall. So, but I really want to compliment them. I started from when they bring an inmate in from an arrest, and I want to be just like an inmate. Show me what happens. So they brought me in to that place where you get the Chilton County mug shots. I got to see that place.
You was
Very-
brought in as a compliant inmate, right?
I probably wasn't by the time.
Well, yeah, when you say you visited the jail unexpectedly,
So, anyway, I was very impressed with this device that x-rays your body in case some contraband or something, and you can correct me, if you put a pill in your mouth, I'm telling it. They can scan that. Weapons, anything, in any orifice that you put in your body, if you stick it in your ears, they can find it, and we won't go over everywhere else. That, very, very, very impressive. I didn't know we had that. I also went to the area where they hold, if there is a hostile or aggressive victim, what do you call them? Offender.
They're not victims.
Okay, offender, in the chair, and it was padded. I checked the chair to make sure there was not any broken metal or frays or anything on that chair if I were to get in that chair. So that chair was safe. Then I saw the drug test dog, met the dog, and got my scent. I think he followed me, maybe a few days later. His scent, I'll tell you about that. And so Then I went to the, I didn't mean it like that. The dog, it really, literally, right. The sheriff knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was dual protection. So, I went, into the kitchen, my favorite part in Chilton County. I told the, what's her name? The lady that was the, head of the kitchen? The head of the kitchen, she was there. They all wanted to make sure. And they had, she's the head, the kitchen, the chef, not the chef, oversees the kitchen. She had good items. I was surprised to see Domino Sugar. I thought I was going to see an off-brand. And so she had good items and Hubbard.
Shut up.
Quit laughing. I'm telling y'all about He's talking about my tour.
No, I didn't say it.
Okay,
I'm just wondering if the high heels clashed with that orange.
I'm wondering if we need to reevaluate the budget if he's got name brand sugar.
well, leave it alone because there have been complaints that the food is crappy. So but I went in and I really did. I went in the kitchen. They were cooking, and they had brownies with.
I'm sorry. Hey, it's a jail, it's not Burger King, they don't get their way.
But I'm very impressed. I ate a brownie because it just came out the oven. I couldn't resist it. So I did get a nice brownie, and I was impressed. She had whole pecans in it. I said, y'all do better than me. I have chips of pecans. So I did go on around, and I learned all the A cell, B cell. I went around to see, and I looked in, and they explained to where the restrooms were. I didn't realize we had upstairs. I was very impressed. The temperature was conducive for the time of day that I was there, because it was really hot outside, because Warren was riding her car with the convertible down. So inside, the temperature was conducive. I was impressed with the pad, the mattress that they're given, because I visited other facilities recently and they had a kindergarten mat. So I'm not trying to get y'all to stay in jail, but what you gave was very good, and the blanket and the pillow. So I went through every process because I really wanted to see, and very clean. I did not smell any odors. Only one concern I had, they were they were working on the tables. Yeah, in the process, the tables were the only thing that I found that was not up to par, and they showed me one where they was working on the table.
20-year-old tables, 20-something-year-old tables too.
And is it metal? 20-year-old metal tables. So just to the general public, everything went well. So I just want to commend you all, and the inmates in the kitchen were laughing at me eating, so we had some in there cooking, and so, anyway, I was very, very, very impressed. Okay, so y'all doing a great job. Keep that work up, and yeah, and we haven't had, talking with Commissioner Childress, we haven't had any really infractions of employees or anything that's been released from there or anything. So I was very impressed. I just wanted to share that. That made me feel good, because I have visited a couple. They said they would love to be in the Chilton County Jail. All right. Now let me get to road concerns. Alan Williams, do not start. So I was on Ellis. I got a call about the Ellison Road in Jemison. I did find it. I didn't know that road was there literally. Ellison Road in Jemison is a safety hazard, and that road stops between Thorsby city limit and Jemison city limit. It's a dirt road. About that much. That much is the county, but it does not have a county road number, but we own it. And I understood their concern, and want to advocate for them, because they all wanted to come. I said, let's give this a try. And I reached out to the engineer, and they are looking at that road. It's not much. And I don't know, was it ever paved? But they said that the traffic speed through, and they got some kids that have recently moved there. And they said it's an International Speedway when the train blocks it. I was there when school was out last week. So, to the commission, it's,
Is it a county road?
it,
Is it a county road?
About 20 feet.
We got the part in the middle that's very, very little part.
It's right there. Yep, that's it.
and I wish that, I would like for the commission and, the engineer, they're gonna look at that because it's not even, how much of a mile you said it was?
Half a mile.
Okay, that's a half a mile that,
I didn't think it was
I
that
think there was a major accident up there several years ago. They said it killed several Hispanics on that road. It went up. And the family there gave me the history. That's where the pledgers and everyone live.
That's probably the railroad crossing.
Yeah, that was the only time I've ever known of anybody having
I
a
know.
wreck was at the railroad crossing.
I didn't even know it was
But you're
there.
right, they'll jump on that road, it runs.
It's a cut through.
Runs up the
It's a
west
parallel,
side of the railroad track, and if they get blocked, they'll hit that road and they'll do high speed.
So, Commissioner Williams, I guess you probably don't, it would have stayed with you, or Commissioner Headley, have they complained about it in the past that you can recall?
Yeah, I went up there and looked at it, and I called the lady that called me, and Heath and I talked about it, but it was only a short section,
It's-
and I think it was patching we talked about on that road, wasn't it?
It's dirt.
It's dirt road, yeah. As far as I know, I ain't never heard anybody really complain about it, other than the people just go through it fast, and I told them, I think it was I ain't sure if it was a man or woman, but anyway, I told them, whoever it was, I said, well, you know, they might tar and gravel or something, but I said, you talking about speeding for kids and stuff, and they
Yeah.
put tar and gravel on it, instead of running 35, it's gonna be 65. So if you want them to keep the speed limit down, you know, you may just want
They
to
could-
work it and.
It's a speed limit on there, 20 going one way and 30 going the other. So there is a speed limit, because that was my first concern. And so you're going to continue to look at it, correct? 'Cause they're going to sign some papers to bring in, but I said, well, maybe we can see what can be done.
What do they want done?
They probably want it surface. If I lived there, I would want it surface, because I thought Thorsby might give a little bit and Jemison give a little bit. We can divide it into three.
Now, if you surface it, they really gonna see speed. If they don't believe it, they can go down on 23 now. 23 is a great road, but it's 75 mile an hour. It's Talladega Super Speedway.
I don't know how it got separated like that.
Well, like, we got half a mile road that's bordered between two cities.
Yes.
Can we get one of them cities to take it?
Be a good idea.
You work on that?
I can work on that.
Okay,
Get
so,
either one of them
We
take
might
it,
have to
yeah.
get one of the cities to take it, the responsibility of it, and then they can do it. Something,
okay,
Find something to trade.
yeah.
okay,
Jonathan at Thorson, Jemison, get him to take it.
okay, so,
Yeah, we might.
but
look into that.
what was their suggestion? Did they look at it? Are they gonna look at it, or?
I've looked at it, and, it is a half mile of dirt city, and, half of that's in Thorsby. But we've bladed for Thorsby because they don't have a grader.
Place doors half in Thor.
It's close to the houses, so I'm sure dust is a problem. It sounds to me like they probably want it chip sealed with speed bumps, if you're talking about speed. But they're correct, if you don't put the speed bumps, you just pave it, you'll have an increase in.
Yeah, we got some, we'll give them.
At speed.
How about the width?
The width was, about 18 feet's about all you'll get, and there's not any ditching. We would need to get with the railroad company, especially on their side, to see if we can ditch out next,
Because it is
this is on their right of way.
yes.
It's on the railroad's right of way.
Oh,
Yeah, the railroad,
that's a whole lot different story.
Railroad,
they
no.
won't budge
It's
it.
like
If
you
they
run
get
road,
it,
you're on the track.
get it in the wider, they'll have to give, them houses down there, I probably have to give some right of way.
Okay, and, I did have County Road 209 and County Road 103 in Thorsby. It is, being worked on. I did drive down it almost last night. And, they did put some gravel down, but, 103 is pretty bad. And so we do need to look back at that. Okay, and I just want, and speaking with Heath, he said, Sheila, you do need to advise them to continue to call in their road concerns, as well as, a lot of them are older, they don't do the, internet, they don't do the website to put those pictures on there. But we do have some roads that I want, that let the general public know that we do take it serious. If you bring a road, I'm gonna mention it in the county commission meeting, because I hold myself accountable. And then what action may or may not get taken, you know, that's to be, you know, done later. But I just want to discuss those roads. And thank you all so much for always answering my calls and working with the public, and they're very appreciative of it.
We'll reach out to the railroad company and see what they say about the vision.
Okay, all right. Thank you, that's all.
All right, Commissioner Edley.
Yes, I'll be making a resolution tomorrow night for the county road department to place some rock and compact it on the Ellison property located at 626 County Road 453 in Clan. You know, and I guess really maybe just bigger rock, you know, something sort of like what railroad rock, about that size or something, that little, and then we wanna put something smaller on it, we go back and put something on it smaller
Are you
later.
talking about on the drive that exists there?
No, I'm talking about the whole lot, once they get it fixed and clean.
All 10 acres?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
Do what now?
And then maybe if
Once they
we
get it leveled, once they get it leveled off,
another
then put
idea,
rock down.
when we get this done, I just ain't cut it loose yet.
Okay.
No,
What you got?
it's on that property.
Okay, anything
It's on that
else?
road.
That's all.
All right, Commissioner Perkins.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. All right, so, tomorrow night I'll be asking for a resolution to adopt an amendment to the Parks and Recs operational manual. Most of it's some language change. I'll run through it real fast. And, on the conference room would be $150 per day or $25 per hour. Then we add $50 per day if combining rooms, where we, where we went in and we took the wall out and put the accordion door in there, which we went from the availability of 2 small rooms to 1 large banquet room.
Oh, that's good too.
All right, so that was completed. OHV riders would change to $20 for an operator and 1 machine, then a $5 additional rider fee for anybody 7 years old or older. We'd strike the language of an additional vehicle fee out of the operational manual, and then strike the discount program from the riding program. There was a little bit of confusion where it got inadvertently added onto the riding program, where the discount program is for camping only. We also have an addition on the campers with OHV section of the book would be $20 plus the rider fees paid upon the entry, and then $5 per rider each additional day over a 3-day stay. We looked at several other OHV parks, and they're extremely excessive in their fees. But one thing that came about was where, you know, we charged $20 to get, if you took a buggy up there and was gonna ride for $20, but what happens if you are camping for 7 days? And some parks charge that $20 per day, per rider, per day, which makes a family vacation to go, you know, to one of those competing parks extremely expensive. So we did want to have the availability to where we reduced ours to $5 per rider on an additional day over the 3 days, which makes us a little bit more competitive. I met with, me and Commissioner Bone had met with the park director and kind of got a meeting of minds on this stuff. And we feel like we have such a good thing going, and it's been, Manuka's been featured in, I can't remember what that was called, it was Alabama Bucket List has picked it up and placed it on. Several other articles had come out recently about all the amenities and the activities going on up there, but we feel like if we can stay competitive or just under some of the competition for these OHV parks, that, if you're sitting around in Thorsby and you want to go ride somewhere, we don't want to be priced like some of these big event centers, the same thing, because then we feel like, well, that person's they're just gonna go to those places. And we can provide something that's really, really nice here at home and a competitive or feasible price. So that's where that came out of. We also want to add a yearly pass section, which would be priced as a single-person yearly pass at $175, a family pass, which would be 2 adults at $300, and kids at $75, which is pretty competitive. And then the
7 and older. 7 and older, right?
7 and older on the kids. And then also add a $100 deposit on tiny home rental. We've had a few of the tiny home rentals that we have up there. They're really, really nice, and didn't have a deposit fee on them, and then we go in there and have to repair some damages and things. So that would be refunded, of course, on checkout. So it's just a deposit on the tiny home rental only. So it's refunded upon checkout, same as if you went and got a hotel and had to pay a deposit or something like that. So those are the additions that I'm gonna be asking for on the resolution. Would basically say we adopt the amendments as proposed on the attachment to the changes to the Park and Rec operational manual. So that's how that's gonna be worded.
Right, you want that on the consent agenda, or you wanna make that motion tomorrow night?
I think I'll just make the motion.
Okay.
It's not really normal business.
So what's the yearly pass for?
The yearly pass for riding only.
Riding on side-by-side trails, or four-wheel trails, or motorcycle, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So Stony Lonesome, Top
Top
Trails, all those, they offer a yearly pass. And we've been asked, if there's one question that's pretty commonly asked, is can I buy a yearly pass?
Yeah.
So,
And ours is actually a little cheaper than theirs, right?
yeah, it's competitive
Yeah.
on that.
Because their park is like, they got more,
Yeah,
bigger
we-
park than what we do.
Yeah, we compete, for all the work that's gone in up there, I think we have about 600 acres total, right? And it's being expanded, not acres wise, but as far as things to do or trail expansion, those kind of things. Some of the ones we compete with close, I wanna say Stony Hill's probably about 1,400 acres. Top Trails is way over that.
Over 2,000.
So it's like a county in itself. So it's, for what we have, the amenities we have are really good, so. So we kind of followed that. Any other questions on those
No.
things? Okay. Update on the archery park. The archery park is, pretty much complete. A little bit ahead of schedule. It looks really, really good. We've posted some pictures of this. And we're gonna try to have it open to be able to shoot for the public on April the 1st, which is this Wednesday. I think it's gonna rain, but it will be, for Easter weekend, it will be available to be used. So it's ready to go. Has bench seating for spectators, bench seaters for spectators, it has work tables on every other section of the firing line for people to work on their bows, has the bow hangers. I think the only thing we're waiting for is that one sign.
Can you shoot crossbows there too?
No,
No, just,
No crossbow.
just archery. Yeah. So it's been talked about a lot. We've had a lot of people, come to it and, express a lot of interest in it. So I think it's gonna be highly used. It's, and it is free to the public. It was paid for by a grant that we received through Kawaka. And we want to thank them for seeing that vision and accepting that project. And it's turned out really, really good. And the other thing I got is the last, a couple of weeks ago, I guess the Women's Pro Bass Tour was here. They were down at Mitchell. I forgot my card, I guess it's in the truck, but anyway, that organization gave us all a card and that participants had signed. I went to their registration meeting that they had and kind of welcomed them here on part of the county commission and the chamber and everything. But on the way in, it was, of course, live streamed on their program, and they had a lot of good complimentary things to say about the county, the amenities we had, the county in general, the people they ran across, things that they did while they were here, other than fishing that evening. They were asked by the MC, what did you do on your day off, and a lot of them went to a lot of different boutiques, Peach Park and those kind of things. And of course, they ate dinner here and bought gas and everything else. It was a very good event. The fishing was good that week. Didn't start out real good that Monday because it sleeted and snowed, right? But toward the end of the weekend, it was very good. So I had a lot of good participation for that, and they were very highly complimentary of the county, and had a lot of good things to say. So just to give you that update. They did appreciate, our foresight and vision to bring those type of events here. We got a big one coming up in May that we are really working on logistics for that now and getting it set up. Met with the city on how to bring them in, where to weigh them in, where the trailer weigh-in's going to go, those kind of things. So it's everything's moving.
I got a question, and maybe to Don. Someone asked me over the weekend about the fishing room. What you throw fish back that don't make it? What do you do with those fish?
You keep them.
Well, if they
That's
get
too
floated
small.
to the bank, I try to get them up because they get smelly, but a lot of them float off, the turtles eat them and whatever.
Please don't.
So, Yeah, that's what
What
I
are you
was-
asking about? The creel limit, or like keeping fish, or
yes,
what?
and they said throw them on the bank. It was getting stinking. I haven't been out there to witness it, so he knows exactly. Sorry.
Don't wear high heels.
Don't wear high.
I will not wear high heels. But they asked me a comment about what do you do with the fish that you can't keep.
Or you throw them back. So
But on the bank,
we got.
Manuka,
I mean, I haven't seen that. I guess raccoons would eat them.
because we had too many bass that ran there, and they said fish them
Well,
out.
now look, no, now they ain't supposed to technically throw them on the bank, but like if they keeping fish, the commission, we removed the catch and release policy. So
Catch and
bass,
release.
we are allowing bass under 14 inches to be kept. I mean, they technically would keep them and eat them for the
Okay.
most part, especially the catfish we added in, but catfish can be kept if they're over 12 inches. Bass, we want all the bass we can. We need 275 pounds a year of bass taken out of Manuka.
Okay.
But now that, I wouldn't, if I was just throwing them on the bank.
But they
I
are
would-
throwing some on banks, correct? Have you found some on banks? A few?
Personally, myself, I hadn't, I don't know if any other employees have or not, but I hadn't found none.
Might want to check with your,
I'm not around the bank a lot, here lately, I've been busy doing other things.
check with your,
I haven't seen any. I've been up there a week and I haven't seen any.
okay, check with the two females, okay. Okay.
But yeah, now that's the creel limit. Bass is 10, 14 inches and under. You can keep for catch and keep for cooking. You can take them home, have a fish fry or whatever. If you got a church group goes up there, whatever, anything over 14, we require it to be thrown back. And that is basically done, just as information purposes, that's basically done, the lake is overpopulated with bass. So we have introduced bait. It didn't have any bait in it. The brim that were in there the average brim size in there is 8 to 9 inches, which is extremely large. You'd take a 10-pound bass to eat that, right? So in order to increase or promote the growth of the fish that's in there, you need to remove the mouths that are competing for the bait. So we stocked it with 10,000 bluegill, 1 inch long, as a bait source. And we're asking the public, if they're up there fishing, they are allowed to keep and catch. And taking those small fish out reduces the number of mouths to feed, based on a percentage of the bait that's in there, and it will promote the overall growth of the other ones. So our hope is if we can get the size out that we need out, in the next 18 months to 24 months period, you'll go from an average size fish, right now is about 3/4 of a pound, to at least 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. So it'll make it a little bit more catch friendly. So. And if you really want to read all that, I got about a 40-page report thinking.
I care not to read it, I just wanna know, do the fish go in the bank or in the water?
The fish released over 14 is supposed to go back in the water. Fish kept, we would advise people to keep them for a fish fry, not to just throw them on the bank.
Okay.
Although raccoons would probably love it.
Anything else, Commissioner Perkins?
Nah, that's all I got.
The only thing I've got to add is, just so y'all know, the drug dog did not follow Commissioner Hall home because the brownie had THC in it. Y'all
I
have,
got one of those. I need to pull that from consent.
okay.
I'll need to pull
what are we
Cowan
doing?
from consent.
Oh,